Hi everybody, third and final video. In this video, I'll be going over the women's rights movement, the Chicano rights movement, and Black Power. Those three topics that you may choose for your Unit 2 discussion board. Okay, so women's rights movement, this document basically goes over the formation of the National Organization of Women. National Organization of Women is an organization still around today. It was first formed in 1966. And it was inspired, the formation of this group was inspired by the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and folks were encouraged to fight for the equality of women. Founding members of NOW included Dr. Pauli Murray and Betty Friedan. Murray was a Yale law professor who was also a member of the President's Committee on the Status of Women. Friedan became famous by writing an incredible book called The Feminine Mystique, which was published in 1963. And basically, within this book, Friedan surveyed women who had graduated from Alma Mater Smith College. And by surveying these women, she found out that the happy and fulfilled housewife was a myth. She found that most of the housewives that she spoke to felt that they were missing something and were yearning for a career. So she ended up turning her findings into the feminine mystique. One of the findings within her book, which I find fascinating and really struck a chord with me. It's funny because, I'm a very active person. And, when I'm on a semester break, it's like, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday evening. I should be chatting with my students. Oh, I'm on a break, So anyway, so I got this book out from the library, Friedan's Feminine Mystique, and I was reading it. And I always read to relax for like an hour before I go to bed. And I'm reading this book, and all of a sudden I went, oh, and my husband's like, what? What's wrong? And I said, this is interesting. She finds that it takes stay-at-home moms longer to do their household chores than women that work outside the house. And I said, I have been taking longer with my housework since I've been on break. So anyway, I just found it interesting. Main flaw with Feminine Mystique is that it was geared towards middle-class white women. Okay, the next topic you can go over, the Chicano rights movement. I'm giving you a little bit of a background of Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers. Cesar Chavez was born in Yuma, Arizona in 1927. He learned about injustice early on when his father was swindled out of land that his family had been living in by unscrupulous white people. Chavez's family ended up moving to California where Cesar was banned from speaking Spanish in school and experienced a lot of prejudice. After completing 8th grade, Chavez became a migrant farm worker to support his family after his dad was hurt in an accident. 1962, Chavez, along with Dolores Huerta, formed the United Farm Workers, organization that's still around today. The main purpose of this organization is to fight for the rights of migrant workers. Members of the United Farm Workers went on strike to protest their treatment by California table grape and lettuce growers. In 1968, Chavez engaged in a 25-day hunger strike, and during that hunger strike, he was visited by Senator Robert F. Kennedy in a show of support. In fact, years later, when he went on a hunger strike, Kennedy's widow, Ethel Kennedy, would visit him in a show of support. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, the last topic you can go over in Unit 2 discussion board is the Black Power movement. To understand the Black Power movement, you got to understand that there was a split within the civil rights movement. On one end of the spectrum were the followers of Dr. King, who wanted to continue down the road of passive resistance. Then there was this other group that was very disillusioned and frustrated, saying, we've been down the road of passive resistance long enough, it's not working, we must be more aggressive. The Black Panthers was part of this Black Power movement. The Black Panthers were formed in 1966 by Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, and they fought for African American rights, particularly against police brutality. All right, everybody, that is it, a wrap on the topics that you can cover within Unit 2 discussion board. As always, do not hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. Remember, you can do this.